Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Ethan Fedema here today, and we're going to continue on with the story of what if Deku stayed quirkless. This is part 5, but before I get into that last video, I asked all of you to put in the comments if Deku should have a ship, and the most commented one was Deku should get a harem, so I'm going to give him a harem. So, where we continue now is the heroes versus villains test. And Deku walks out in his hero outfit. I explained it in the last video, and all the girls were like, "Oh, that's an amazing suit. You look powerful in it." And some of the other girls got jealous from. I'm gonna say, Yayarozu said that, and the other girls in class 1A got jealous and that was my line. And Deku was just like, well, thank you. And making her blush and the others get jealous. And Deku knows that all of them have a crush on him. He's not oblivious to them. So he's just like, I'm gonna have a little fun with this, see what they do. And the teams are exactly the same as in canon. So Deku and Uraraka, Ida and Bakugo, and just that. So since Deku is, not as nervous and all of that, they actually come up with a plan where they he gets Uraraka to touch him and float him up, and Deku uses his tools and that to climb around a building to see where the bomb is. And I'm gonna say Deku's senses are like superhuman level, so he can see a lot further, hear better, and his grip is like hella good, so he can climb around and see and feel where the bomb is in that. So he finds it on the fifth floor or whatever floor it's on, and he knows that Bakugo is going to come after him. So when he gets back down to the bottom floor or the ground floor where Uraraka was, and she releases him, Deku's like, okay, Kachan is gonna come after me first, so I'm gonna go in and you're gonna climb up, like up the side until I give the signal. And she's like, okay. And everyone, like, the others watching them, and they're like, wonder what their plan is. And they see Deku go in and then Uraraka go around and float up, and they're like, what's going on? And Bakugo is just exploding everywhere to try to find where he is. And Deku's like a hella good ninja, so he kind of like sneaks around, and he can feel the vibrations of where Bakugo is like exploding walls and that. And instead of Bakugo flying out and surprise attacking Deku, it is Deku who does the surprise attack. So Bakugo's like, maybe he's not on this floor, and like straight then so Bakugo's going this way and Deku is like on the corner. So as soon as he says that, Deku jumps on and hits the wall and then just bolts and like pushes off it and goes, surprise. And then Bakugo was like, damn, and Deku just like clipped his cheek and got a little cut and like landed, and Bakugo was like, oh, damn, and explodes. And Deku jumped up and like stuck his sword into the roof that could like keep him there for like a second. It takes it out and falls back down, sheaths it, and like runs at him. And Deku's hand-to-hand combat skills is like Rock Lee's. He is like so good at hand-to-hand combat, like almost like no one can beat him in a fight. Like the only people who could beat him in a fight is like the top 5 heroes. So everyone else, he wipes the floor with them. So Bakugo is just like, when did I'm gonna explode this nerd? And just before he explodes it, Deku grabs his wrist, like he goes like that, and Deku goes grabs, elbows his wrist, grabs that, and like hits him like over here, and he goes, ah, what the hell? And Deku flips over him, elbows him in the back, grabs his head, and like throws, kind of like that, and Bakugo's like, what the hell? And he hits the wall, like, he goes, ah! and falls straight onto like one knee and is like, "What the hell?" Explosion! Bow! And Deku, like, this was so fast that like it wasn't like really, really, really fast, but it was like fast enough for Deku to be a little bit surprised by it. And Bakugo thinks he hit him because he's just like, "Yeah, I'm the best now." And Deku kind of like Matrix dodged that, so it was like, whoa, and hit and like falls on the floor, and it just missed him. And within the smoke, Deku like, as I like said in other parts, he can like hide his presence because he was training in like forest areas with a lot of aggressive animals. So he just calms down, lets everything be calm, holds its breath, and just kind of like disappears from his presence, just like a gust of wind. And Bakugo's like, where the hell did he go? Without knowing that Deku has got behind him. And the last thing Bakugo hears is like an unsheathing of his sword. And then Deku flips it and hits Bakugo with like the flat side here. And Bakugo just like falls, like, because he's KO'd. And Deku grabs him and then ties him up with the tape. And Deku runs as fast as he can all the way up to where the floor is, and he taps his earpiece and is like, "Uraka, get to the he well whatever." Like, he's like, "Get to the window," and she's like, "Okay, I'm there." And Deku's like, "As soon as I run in, Ida will run at me, so just get in without him noticing you and touch the bomb." And she's like, "Okay." And Deku's like, "I'm counting on you," like, very like, "I'm counting on you." So she gets like a little bit blushy, and she's like, "I have to do this for Deku-kun." and and Ida was just doing his like evil thing, like how he did in the canon, just like, "I must become evil. I'm the villain." And Deku like just walks in. Well, he doesn't walk in. He like was running, and then he slides in, and Ida's like, "Ah, it's you!" And he starts running at him, and Deku starts running at him, and that was a sign for Uraraka to climb in through the window, get behind. And Ida and Deku was just like, they were fighting, and Ida used his better version of reciprocal burst. I'm not sure what it was called, but he used that, and Deku was just like, "What the hell?" And he like got full on like, bow, like super kick to the side of the face, and he hits the wall. And the next thing everyone hears is, "The heroes win." And Ito's like, "Oh no!" And he turns and he sees Uraraka with her hand on the bomb, and he's like, "Oh well, you guys are better. Like, you guys won, you're better," and blah 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 blah. And Uraraka runs up to Deku. She's like, "Oh my god, are you okay? Is anything hurt? Is anything hurt? You need to go to the doctors." And Deku's like, "No, I'm fine." And he has like a little blood nose, so he goes, "Yeah, I'm fine." And he stands up and walks up to Ida face to face, and he was like, "I respect you because you're the first person I've ever fought to make me bleed." And Ida felt like his whole thing changed. Like, his expressions he was like down a bit. So now he feels like a little bit like raised up, like he's more confident now. And Bakugo's just like, he wakes up and he's in the table, like, "What the hell?" And Deku, Uraraka, and Ida come down talking, about random stuff. And Bakugo was like, "What the hell?" And Deku like grabs a kunai from his like leg, swings it around his finger, and like cuts the tape, and he's like, "What the hell happened? You damn nerd!" And Ida was just like, "We lost, Bakugo. The hero team won." And he was like, "What?" And Bakugo just like walked out, and the girls were like, "Oh my god, he's so cool. I need to spend more time with him, one-on-one style." And and Sorry. And then all the other teams go. The ones who win. The ones that fail. And sorry, I'm a little bit tired. I haven't got much sleep, and I'm just a little bit exhausted because I've had a long day. So now, tell me if the USJ happens a day after this, like after the villains and heroes test, or on the same day. Um, because I want to know, because they'll be in the next part. So this is where I am going to end off the video. So if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment if you want to. Subscribe, turn the notifications on. Stay golden.